Okay.
There we go.
Yay, we're live. Sorry for the delay. We had a little technical difficulties as usual. We are streaming on the YouTube channel and also in our photographers Facebook group. So wherever you're watching from around the world, thanks for tuning in. My name is Ana Brandt, and we are going to do our live Q&A that we do every couple of weeks. The purpose of the live Q&A is so I can answer some of the many questions that come in from around the world. I have been a photographer for 21 years, and I've been teaching for over 12. I've taught in 32 countries, and I continue to teach. While the borders are still closed much around the world, I'm trying to handle as many domestic locations as humanly possible before the busy fall season comes. It's going to be here before we know it, as we're almost headed into summer. So if you are looking into a workshop, please check out the schedule at workshops.anabrandt.com. Funny thing is that lately, I feel like everybody that comes to workshops, not everybody, I feel like a good portion of people that come to workshops are so nervous because they're new or just starting out, or they've been maybe on hiatus or quarantine, and they feel like they have to be so prepared for a workshop, but you don't have to be prepared at all. All you have to do for a workshop is be prepared to learn. My job is to be prepared. My job is to provide the models and to have the knowledge and information and resources available to you. You could come to a workshop knowing nothing. In fact, I find it's easier to actually train photographers that are just starting out or don't really know anything, because then it's brand new and I can give them all types of tips and tricks and ideas and save them probably a lot of money. I find when I have photographers that have been doing it a long time, sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, I know everything. Why go to a workshop? I mean, I've already been doing this a long time. And then they'll come and maybe not pay attention as much because they feel like they've been around a long time. Or maybe the complete opposite. Maybe they'll be really inspired to try something new and get out of their rut. But the new photographers, I have people that have never even held the baby before. I have people that have never photographed a newborn before. I have people that have never even wrapped a baby before. The purpose of going to an in-person workshop is to learn. So if you're just starting out and you're hesitant to join a workshop because you feel like you don't know enough or you don't know how to use your camera, that's exactly why you go to a workshop, because we help you. And the students help each other out. It's not just me. Alex will help everybody, and the students will help everybody. And so I think it's important to just release the inhibitions and nervousness that you have with feeling like you need to know everything, and understand that my job, my staff's job is to teach you. So we'll help you. Just come and be prepared to learn. We're not expecting anything of you. We just want you to show up and learn. So with that being said, take a look at my website, workshops.anabrandt.com, for locations around the area, US it is. As soon as the international borders open up, hopefully late fall, hopefully, we can start traveling again. Once the international travel opens up, it'll be very difficult to do mentoring or do domestic trips because it's so hard to do both. So if you're interested in mentoring, if you're interested in clinics or workshops in the US, now's the time to do them. Internationally, you just got to wait a little bit longer and make sure you're part of the mailing list so that you can be notified of new workshops. Okay, now we have a bunch of questions that came in last time that I wasn't able to finish. We have new questions that came in today. Yes,
Real quick,
Alex?
do you not want to start with that video?
I am. I
Okay.
was getting there.
That way that people can.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Okay.
That was part of my
Okay.
conversation. Alex is on the mic. I keep saying he's going to be sitting next to me one day, but he's got that'll be when he has a staff, because right now he's got to handle everything. But we're going to be going over, hopefully, we only have about an hour today because it's still a very busy day. I still have to pick up my daughter from school and go finish my last unicorn session of the year. It's time to finish with unicorns and go on to mermaids. So today is my last unicorn session, and then we'll be starting mermaids. So with that being said, though, every single time we do a live, I mean, every single time, marketing is one of the questions. How do I market? Whenever I'm doing mentoring, I do a lot of Skype mentoring. How do I market? And what I'm seeing in the industry this year, last year, the year before, is that number one, marketing hasn't changed. Marketing is who you are, it's not how good you are. I say this over and over and over again. And we think, oh, I'll market more when I get better, or I'll market when, I'll market here, I'll market there, I'll do this then, when my website's done, when I get a new logo. Marketing needs to happen now. It needs to happen yesterday. It needs to happen tomorrow. It's not waiting till we're good enough. It's not waiting till we're better. It's not waiting till we have the perfect photograph. With that being said, one of the things I do want to impress upon you is that your work needs to stand out. If you're a tired mama and you're looking for a photographer and you're just scrolling, Instagram or social, every baby on a beanbag looks like every baby on a beanbag. And so if a baby on a beanbag looks like a baby on a beanbag and you've got three photographers and one photographer is $50 and one photographer is $100 and one photographer is $300 and they all have the same work or it looks the same to the prospective client, why would they choose the $300 photographer over the $50 photographer? Why? You need to, in your marketing, explain why you're you. You have two eyes that are going to see a baby differently than somebody else. So rather than trying to be like somebody else's work, try to focus on your own creative talent. We all have a different way of seeing things. We all have a different story to tell. It's up to us when we're marketing and we're sharing our work to share the message of why someone needs to choose us. So that when someone's looking for us, they're not just going, I'm going to go with the $50 one. They're going to go with the photographer that they want, regardless of the price. Isn't that what you want? You want people to call you up because they want to be with you and nobody else. So in order for that to happen, your message needs to be clear. Your vision and your creativity needs to be clear. I want to share a video that I've watched 5 times now. I'm not just sharing it because it's my son, Evan Brandt, who's 20 years of age. He started doing his own video at 16 when he asked for a drone. Before that, I never thought in a million years he would be doing video. All of my kids know photography. I taught them how to shoot manual. I remember in Japan, like a long time ago. I don't even remember how many years ago it was. And so they all do video and they all have cameras and they all have YouTube channels and they're all creatives, right? I never thought in a million years Evan would do video. I never pushed him into it, never asked him to do it. He wanted a drone and he took it off from there. His generation tends to learn from YouTube. He's always watching, he's always learning. He took classes in school. When he asked to do a gap year, when he graduated high school, immediately after that, he was hired to do a documentary in the Netherlands. Since then, he's been traveling around the world. He did not enroll in college. He is constantly learning. He probably takes more courses. In fact, I know he takes more online courses than his friends in college do. He's constantly learning and trying to evolve. He's constantly trying to market and send his message of creativity out to the world. Not because I'm asking him to do it. I've never asked him to do it. Not because someone else is asking him to do it. Not because he even needs money to pay rent right now at 20, but because he feels he has a message and work and art that needs to be shared. I'm sharing you his latest reel for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think it's amazing. Number two, what I love about it is there's different storylines in there. So if you look at this video carefully, you can see the different subjects that he's worked for. There's a couple here in Irvine, California, who sells Rodan and Fields, and it's a wife, and he photographed her in her home. That's a skincare line. Then there's the documentary that he was filming in the Netherlands. Then there's the surfer in Thailand that he was working with. Then you can see footage of India. So you can see that there are different stories in this video. And if you pay attention, he leaves each story to go back and tell another piece of the other story. And it evolves over the course of it. I want you to look at it because it made me stop and think about my own work. And I said to Alex today, gosh, I'm thinking about how I market my own work and my own story to tell. And how do I want to show my next video? How do I want to show my next reel? How do I want to show my portfolio? I'm in the middle of updating websites right now, and I'm constantly trying to evolve and adjust. And here's this kid, he's not even a kid, he's a man now, he's 20. And I think the vision and the creativity he has is amazing. And it's something that we should all have, and we have it. We just have to find a way to share our story. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video, and then we'll get real quick into Q&A. You can hear it.
If you can't hear, let me know. Yeah, they're saying no audio.
Okay, we'll start again. Can we start again? Oh, I hear it. I wouldn't they be able to hear it?
Just a sec. Maybe if I do this, give me a second.
You're starting it over.
I'm gonna try this. Let's see if.
Okay, it's on now. It's off.
How about now?
So if you weren't able to hear it as amazing as we think it is, you can, if you're in the photographers group, I did link it. It's also linked on my personal page. You can also visit Evan on his website, evanbrightmedia.com. You can also visit him on Instagram. I just thought it was something to share because I think he is extraordinary. Of course, I'm his mother and I'm a little biased, but I also think that about many of the creatives that I meet around the world. I love when I see a student post videos of their work, or I love it when I see someone share a slideshow of their work, or I go to a trade show and you see image and music. It just makes you stop for a second, doesn't it? Did you stop for a second and did you watch that? Because that's what I do. I do it with the videos that Alex creates of my own work. I do it with my son's work and other videos. That's what your clients do. It's a message that I want to share with you that as we're already midway into the year, I want you to do more. I want you to be more. I want you to do everything you humanly possibly can do. I want you to do more than just create images, than just get through a photo shoot. I want you to add the piece about you that makes you unique. So when a client calls you, they say, I have to have you. I need to come to you. Isn't that what we want? So that's my wish for you this weekend. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I hope that it inspires you to do the work that you're being called to do. So we'll get going to questions. Alex, where are you starting? I see questions in the Facebook group here.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with this.
Okay.
I'm wondering, when you do your parent photos against white, do you leave the background a subtle gray or do you make them bright white? In your videos that I watch, it looks like the finished image is a big gray.
Yeah, so it's up to the client, really. When they show me images, I am looking at what kind of images do they want. So, for example, last night I had a maternity session and the husband said no dark. He didn't want anything dark. But in the images that she showed me, there were backlit images, there were darker images, there were more gray images. And so when I was talking to her, I really needed to understand, what does your home look like? Do you want bright white? Do you want gray? If someone is showing up, for example, in a sailor outfit, I'm probably going to make it a really strong white because I don't really want it too gray. I want it to be very crisp. But most of the time, people want the light to fall or the paper to fall a little gray. They don't necessarily want it bright white. So I will let it fall just a shade of gray. But this is a conversation that I have with the clients. I also backlight families, so that can be very white. So it's really up to the client, what they're wearing, what their home looks like, and the discussion that we have. I definitely do everything. I do white, I let it fall to gray, and I can let it fall even darker to darker gray, and I can do backlighting.
What type of camera you'll recommend for newborn baby photo shoots?
No, I can't answer that question.
I would just say a full frame sensor camera, whether Canon, Nikon, Sony, whatever you like, and a lens with a good range, like a 24 to 70. You can see the info of Anna's camera and equipment scrolling on the bottom there.
Because honestly, it depends on your budget. I mean, when I started out, I didn't have a budget because I didn't even think to have a budget because no one told me, Anna, you should have a budget for a camera. But I didn't go out and buy the most expensive camera. I had a used camera from eBay. And so I'm one of those people that I prefer people learn from used cameras, leftover cameras, rent cameras, try a camera, because you don't know what you don't know till you don't know it, right? You don't know what the limitation of your lens is until you use the lens and realize, oh, I can't do that. Like if you're in a session and you shoot down a lot and you're using a 50, you're not going to be able to do that without getting up on a ladder. And so you may go, oh, I really love my 50, but gosh, I think I need a better range. I think I need 24. Well, I usually shoot 24 to 78. I think I'm usually going to be at 24 focal length. So maybe I need a 35 millimeter, or maybe I need a range. Every time people come to workshops, they have all different cameras, all different lenses. And I say, I use the 24 to 70 only because I do shoot on the floor. I do shoot family. I do shoot close up. I even do the toe images with the 24 to 70. But when I used to shoot in clients' homes, I would bring my 35 because it would allow me to bring in more light. So The lens, the camera, all are subjective. They're all based on what you're shooting. Are you indoors, outdoors? Do you need to be far away? Do you need to be close up? Do you need something fast? I use my 1D Mark X when I'm doing family sessions at the tree farm at night because it's a very fast camera and it works fantastic in low light situations. So that's why I encourage you to maybe understand what it is you need. As a beginner, what are you photographing? I'm assuming as a beginner, you probably don't have lights. What is your budget? Figure out what do you need to shoot. Are you shooting newborns? I would probably start with a range versus a fixed lens. And as Alex said, a full frame camera. But Alex, many people don't know what a full frame camera is. I know when I started out, well, I started out film, but I wouldn't have known what a full frame camera is versus crop sensor. Like if you're new, you're not going to know what that is.
Yeah, so a full frame sensor camera basically means that it is equivalent to a 35 millimeter film frame from back when there was film.
You gotta
So
break it
it's
down
the
even
sensor
more.
size is that size basically.
There you go.
So that you get when you're looking at lenses and you see 24 to 70 on a full frame sensor camera, it's actually a 24 to 70 versus on a crop sensor, that 24 to 70 is like, I believe like a 50 to like 105 or something like that. So you have to multiply the focal range by crop factor, and each camera will be a little bit different. Usually between Canon, Nikon, and Sony, they'll have a different crop factor.
You also have lenses that are ranges versus fixed. And what does that mean? So whether it's 18 to 55, 24 to 70, 70 to 200, when you have a range, that's what that means. It's a range. So you can have different focal lengths. So meaning you can adjust your lens to be closer or farther away. A fixed lens means you need to move because your lens isn't going anywhere. It's one focal length. Meaning if you want to get closer, you have to get closer. So if you're a 35 or a 50 or an 85, I mean, there's so many of them, they're also going to have different apertures and different sharpness, levels of sharpness. And that's going to be based on what you can afford because these lenses can be $300 to thousands and thousands of dollars. As far as the camera body, sometimes it's better if you don't have the money to have a cheaper camera body and a better lens, I think, in my opinion. But again, it's got to be kind of what is your budget? That's why it's so hard to answer that question. Okay, next question.
Do you offer a lighting book along with diagram and camera settings mainly for maternity sessions?
So I do have a maternity book and I have a newborn book. In my maternity book, there are lighting samples and diagrams of behind the scenes. So if you can go to thecreativenewborn.com. I have a maternity book there as well as the newborn book there. They're available in PDF, actual soft cover, and the newborn book is available in audio. And you can also go to bellybabywear.com. Both of those books do have behind the scenes lightings. I also have courses online, bellybabyschool.com, that have videos, tons of videos on my lighting as well.
This person says, been following you for some time now. Love everything about all you and your team does.
Thank you.
Do you happen to have newborn workflow posing cards?
Yes and no. No, available? No. When I launched the Baby Academy, the Baby Academy students actually receive these posing cards as part of the academy. And I was holding off because I was going to do them for each academy. And then that didn't work. So now I'm redoing my idea. But it's I just recorded a workflow video this morning for APNPI in Canada for their new online courses. And I was explaining how in workflow is like a card game shuffle, is that you can't really have a deck of cards for workflow because just like a deck of cards, every move is going to require a different card. That's kind of how workflow is. So it's a little challenging to put it in cards. So I have poses that will be in the cards that you'll be able to adjust and rearrange the workflow. So it's something that's in development. Stay tuned. I do have a workflow course though at bellybabyschool.com, I believe, you can check out.
How often should you update your website?
All the time, every day. I update my website all the time. I just filled out a support ticket because I went to add beach galleries because we're getting ready to launch beach specials for my clients, and my maternity and newborn galleries are not loading and they're just being fickle. So I just opened up a support ticket before I came here, trying to fix those galleries so I can update new galleries. I'm on my website almost every day fixing something. I think you should just make it part of just like you're posting on social media. If you have an image that you love, just throw it on the website. If you do, it's like laundry. If you do a little bit at each time, it'll constantly be up to date. But if you save it, that's what I used to do back in the day, was I would save it like once a year, do a full update. Well, then 6 months later, I don't like any of my work for the past 6 months. It's time to update it again. Now I'm dreading it because I just finished the last update and I don't really feel like doing it again. So now I don't do that anymore. I update it all the time whenever I feel like it. So right now I'm updating it as we speak. I need to update all fresh galleries and things like that as we're getting ready to roll out the beach specials and mermaids for the summer. And we'll be into fall before you know it. We're already booking Tree Farm minis for this fall. And I think we're already half sold out. So all the time. That's the answer.
This person says, I signed up for the Chicago workshop, but it was canceled. Can I still come to the new Chicago one?
Okay, so the Chicago workshop that you're talking about is Belly Baby Club, because this comes up almost every single day. The Belly Baby Club is a large group workshop. I think it was $199, and we had 25 people in the class. We had Chicago, New York. I think there's the only two on hold that went on hold because of COVID, and they will not come back until 2022. So if you were in that large group workshop Belly Baby Club, which literally every day someone sends me an email. Did you send an update? Did you send an update? And I just keep saying the same thing. It'll come back in 2022. Just like I say the same thing about international, the minute the borders open. So you can sign up for the new Chicago workshop, but if there's a difference in price, you can just email me and ask for a coupon, and I'll give you a coupon for what you paid for the previous workshop, and you can apply it to the new workshop. But there wasn't a Chicago workshop that was the price of the existing workshops we have now. So that's why I know what workshop you're talking about. So just to ask for a coupon and we can apply the money.
Another question on lenses again. Is it true that prime lenses are sharper / better?
Yes, they are sharper. As far as better, I mean, yeah, sharper is always better, right? But they're going to be more expensive. They're going to be a lot more expensive. And so I shoot with a 24-70. That's not a prime lens. So would I say that's better than a 35? No, because I need the 24-70 for family. I get gorgeous, crisp, sharp images, and I actually like it better than my 35. So the answer is better for what? It depends what you're doing. Everything is subjective. Whether you're photographing a flower, whether you're photographing toes, whether you're photographing a family, it's just like video. Everything is subjective. So no one can really say this lens is better than this camera is better than this phone is better than this, because every phone, every camera, every lens is going to yield a different result. It's going to be based on the person holding it. It's going to be based on the lighting involved, and it's going to be based on the subject. Every single lens has its own purpose, and it could be better for what you're using or needing it for, or it could not be. Sharper, yes. Sometimes you can't even tell, though.
Is a 152 centimeter, which is about 60 inches, PLM okay for newborn, maternity, and families? And is one, I don't know this brand of Speedlights strong enough to use with that size umbrella?
Okay, so I use a 64-inch umbrella for a maternity newborn family. Works great. I did have an 85. I don't even know where it went, but it was just so big. But I teach and travel, so every studio I'm in, I use both. I was just in St. Louis. We had 64-inch. We had 85. They're both great. I think space-wise, 60, 64 is totally fine. As far as speed lights, I don't use speed lights with umbrellas, so I can't really answer that question. In my experience with some of the people that I'm mentoring when they're using speed lights, I just don't think it's strong enough. I just don't feel from the images that I've seen from the people that I've mentored it's strong enough. However, I put my speed light away years ago, and I probably have not touched a speed light probably 8 or 9 years. I used a Speedlight religiously for 5 or 6 years, and then I just put them away. I got rid of both of them. I don't even know. I mean, I have them. I just don't even know where they are. So I can't really answer that because I don't use Speedlights. I feel for newborn and family, I feel like you should just invest in an actual light. Speedlights are great for off-camera flash. I just don't know if they're powerful enough for family work. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't really use them.
Yeah, I think they can be. Um, it just depends, and they're probably not as convenient to use. Next question. Do you have any online classes about newborn safety tips, newborn posing? And I think Annie replied with a link
I
to
mean,
your
all of my
delegate.
courses have safety in there. I mean, whenever we're doing anything and we're talking about bucket or we're talking about posing, safety is part of the conversation. Safety should always be part of the conversation. Um, because anything you're doing with a newborn baby, safety has to be number one. So whether you're posing a baby on a beanbag, making sure the airways are clear, maybe you're posing a baby on the bucket, making sure you have a spotter, never leaving a baby unattended. I feel that all of my courses and all of the books, everything I do talks about safety. And I think anyone that is working with newborns or teaching should always include safety as well.
When will you have a newborn model call in California?
I just had one. It's out there. We just had it. It was posted on my social yesterday. We brought in a newborn baby model this morning because we were filming. I'm mentoring on Monday morning and Tuesday afternoon. So we have a model call out there for those spots. I don't know if they're filled yet, but you can go to workshops.anabrandt.com and click on model call. We also have a nude maternity model call out there. And I also have a baby clinic coming up in California. So if you just, some of my clients totally know my schedule better than me. And so if you just go to workshops.anabrandt.com and you can see my schedule and where I am, and then you can see when the model calls, I don't release them till right before I need them. Because back in the day, I used to release them too early. And now I usually only give maybe like 2 or 3 days notice. You kind of got to be ready and be prepared.
Anna, how do you get the toe shot with the 24 to 70? Like, what's your focal length, and do you keep the same 200, 200, 2.8?
Yes, I keep the same 200, 200, 2.8, and I'm at 24 focal length. And oh, I don't think I have any close-ups here, but yeah, every toe shot I've done in the past 8 years has been with my 24 to 70, every single one of them. I haven't put a 50, or I think I gave my 50 to Evan, or do we have it? We have the 35. It's still here.
Yeah.
I think I've had two 50s because I think I gave him one. Must have had
Well,
two.
there's one in the studio. I have one as well.
So I think he has one, unless he bought it. But I have not touched a 50 and I don't even know how long. We have them at the studio. We have 35. I don't even know what happened to my 85. Maybe I gave that one to Evan. Oh, that one's there
Nope,
too?
it's at the studio.
Oh, see, I don't even know.
I use all. Oh,
Oh,
I have my
Alex
own
uses
50,
them.
but
So we have 85, 35, 50. Alex uses them for video.
yeah. I mean,
think,
that extra 50 just kind of stays there.
yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
have my own.
Yeah. So I just keep my 24 to 70. I'm very happy with it. I don't need to change it if it's working fine. I'm not one of those people that changes things just to change things. If it's working, I keep it.
What is your most used feature in Photoshop?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I've never heard of this one before.
That's a toss up between liquefy, patch, clone. Probably the patch tool. Then it would be liquefy, and then it would be the clone tool. Those three.
Okay. Let me see who this person is. Allison.
Allison.
I've been doing more short Facebook lives,
Okay.
and the amount of attention I have had is incredible.
Yes.
I just purchased a rolling stand that will hold any size iPad or tablet so that I can place it in the right place to do this easier.
Yes.
And I don't even know why she's asking this question, but the question is this a good idea?
Yeah. Yes. Fantastic. People want to see you working. They want to see you working. They want to see you creating. Why do you think DIY is so popular on TV? Because we want to see this house go from a garbage house to an amazing house. It was a couple of weeks ago. I ended up watching somebody, I don't know what I was doing, like resurface a kitchen counter into granite or something. I watched this thing for like 20 minutes. Am I ever going to do this? No. And I just was like, that's how they do it. And they poured this texture in there. And I was just like watching the whole thing while cooking dinner. And this is how my son walks around the house. This is Evan, 24/7. And if he's not doing that, you hear it. In fact, if he walks towards my car stereo switches to whatever he's watching. This boy watches more how to, YouTube, creative, like color grading, you name it. And it's like, we love to watch creators create. If you think about the TV shows out there that are popular, it's DIY and reality. Why? Why are those two so popular? Because we're nosy? No. Because we love watching other people. We do. Whether they're in a relationship, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's family dynamics. I caught the Kardashians episode. I was in a hotel and it like popped on my screen. I ended up watching this thing for half an hour. I don't even know what they were doing. They were just sitting in the kitchen doing nothing, just talking about nothing. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm watching this, because we love to watch other humans. So whether you're working, creating, painting, drawing, cleaning, we love to watch it. I don't know why. I don't know the psychology behind it. My mom is a master's in psychology. Maybe I'll ask her. But that's just what we do as human beings. So sharing your work, doing video, yes, that's great. Getting what did she say? A rolling cart for the iPad stand? Yes, I just bought 2 new iPad stands that delivered, or iPhone stands that delivered, because ours kept vanishing. And when we do live, it's hard to grab someone to hold it. So we have iPad stands, we have phone stands, we have rolling things, constantly. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And the engagement will always be 10 times better than a still image. 10 times better than a still image. Okay, next question. Anyway, bravo. Congratulations. That's awesome.
If you had to choose just 3 props, what will you choose?
Perfect. I do it every workshop. Bowl, bucket, and beanbag. That's it. Every workshop, or a bed. Every workshop, I say, I need a bucket, I need a bowl, and I need a beanbag. That's it. Every workshop. There you go.
Okay. Since you do not use your Speedlight any longer, what type of lighting do you use outdoors?
I don't. Natural lighting. Next question. Natural light.
We're actually out of questions.
Okay, perfect.
That's all
That was
live
from
ones.
Facebook,
Yeah,
right?
that's all YouTube as well.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to go back?
I can get the ones from the Emojis.
The ones that I emailed. Okay,
Yeah.
because we had a bunch come in email.
Just restarting my IPS business in a new city. It's not easy. What's your suggestion? Shall I offer model calls versus highly discounted minis? Side note, I'm not a fan of model calls because I am reaching freebie seekers and not my potential clients. Thanks, much love, Kate.
I don't think you're supposed to tell me the name, Alex. Okay. Okay.
Do you even know Kate?
I mean, I know so many Kates. Well, her question changed because she said she's starting IPS in a new area. That's
Yeah, or her question is, should I offer model calls or offer highly discounted minis?
yeah, but what is the problem? Is the challenge that you need clients, or the challenge is you want to sell IPS, so you need clients to sell IPS to? Right? Because there's 2 questions in there. Because to me, if
Well,
someone
I
says
think
I'm starting IPS, that's a different question
we're
than getting clients.
restarting in a new city. I
Okay,
think it's
so then
I
it's
think
really
she's trying to get
clients.
new clients. Yeah.
So it's not really IPS.
Well,
IPS will
I think she's
be
just restarting her business in a new
okay.
location.
Okay, so IPS will be a result of her new clients. Um, I mean, no, I don't think you need to just shoot for free because you're in a new area. You need to market. If you have an existing portfolio that's good, then you need to get out there and you need to be talking to like-minded businesses and you need to be doing field trips and you need to maybe have an open house if you're in a studio and invite people in the town and you can raffle off a free session. But I don't think just because you move to a new area that you need to sell your soul and do everything for free. You need to market. And there's a million ways you can do that. But you got to get out there and you got to pave the street and you got to meet all the like-minded businesses that are targeting your clientele and say, okay, who is like-minded business? If I'm newborn, it's doulas, it's midwives, it's childcare centers, it's maternity stores, it's baby stores, it's doctor's offices, it's pediatricians. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And then say, hey, I'm looking for all the like-minded businesses of my clientele. I want to market with you. I want to network with you. Start your networking group. How can we share clients? How can I maybe provide offers and discounts that you can give to your clients and vice versa. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I came from New York to California with nothing but my clothes. So, I had to market in a new area and I didn't just shoot for free. I had to get to work and I had to market myself. So, no, I don't think you need to just do a bunch of, especially if you're not a fan of them. Model calls are usually best when you need to, well, for me, I'm usually teaching or filming or writing a book. But back in the day, it was starting new things, trying to master my lighting, trying to do a new backdrop, trying a new pose. I sell maternity gowns, so I need someone to model my maternity gown. So, there could be many different reasons for model calls. You need to be very deliberate and intentional in your model call. What is it that you're seeking? If you're just trying to get people in front of your camera to take pictures of to sell to them, that's probably not going to come off so well because then to the potential model, that's like bait and switch. You're really just saying, I want someone to get free sessions so they can see my work so I can sell to them. People don't really respond well to that. I don't think that's good on either side. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm a fan of saying, okay, hey, I want to try new things. I want to explore my lighting. I want to try a new prop. I'll do a model call there. But if I need clients, that's marketing. And you need to just go all in.
And that actually went perfect with a question that came in at the same time. What advice would you have for someone moving to a new country and starting over?
You gotta market. You gotta market. You gotta market your face off. How do we know about new products that come about? We know them by videos that go around. We know them by images that go around, by advertisements, by word of mouth, postcards that we see. Think of all the other businesses that market to you. How many times have you gone out to your car and there's been a postcard of a new restaurant in town? How many times, right? Sometimes you toss it and sometimes you look at it and go, I should check out that restaurant. Or if someone puts a flyer underneath your door for a new nail salon, oh, I should check that out. Or someone's having an open house with balloons, a grand opening outside of their studio. Oh, I should check that out. Think of every other business that's out there that's new that had to catch your attention. That's what you need to do.
I'll answer this one. What's the best light to start off with if you're on a budget? Alien B from Paul C. Buff Company. They are pretty cheap and very reliable.
And they're like under $300, right?
Yeah, I think for like the lowest.
Yeah, and we have
power.
How many Alien Bees do we have?
Too many. Some of them broken after so many years, but
yeah.
You will need either a sync cord or some Pocket Wizard, some kind of trigger for the light, though.
Oh, that reminds me. We need to put a sync cord in my bag because every time I travel, when I was in St. Louis and one of the students had a Pentax camera and none of the triggers worked.
Really?
Yeah, she emailed me.
It's probably a setting because it should work.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of times you have to enable the option to actually shoot. So it's probably somewhere in the camera settings.
Here she is. I wanted to let you know I spoke with the Paul Buff customer service and they walked me through everything I would need. They did say that the upright wizards, which is what I had, should work with a Pentax. So in the future, if you ever have someone else using a Pentax, it should be compatible. But why wasn't? That's my question.
Yeah, I think it's a setting because we've had other people, a lot of times Sony's, for some reason, they're disabled by default.
Yeah.
You just have to go into the menu somewhere and re-enable that setting. I don't know why they
Hmm.
would turn it off, but
That's Sierra Moore from the St. Louis Clinic. I would be curious to see what if it is a setting or what that was because but I did say to myself I need to put a sync cord in my bag because there's too many times we're in a workshop and something doesn't work.
a lot of cameras don't have that
You're
port
right, you're
anymore.
right, you're right, you're
Like they're
right, you're
starting
right.
not to, but some like if you have like a 5D, they usually do. But
Yeah.
some of the new ones, I don't. I think
Mm.
maybe I know probably Canon and Nikon do. Sony, I'm not sure.
Sony.
They probably do,
Yeah.
but they're starting. I think they're starting to go out
I
as
would
well.
think if they don't, it's because they have wireless.
Yeah, probably.
Is there a transmitter that you could use with the Alien Bees or Einsteins that's wireless? Like my Profoto one? We should look into that, huh?
I know.
Like if someone didn't have a sync cord option, but they had wireless.
I don't think so. I don't think any of them work quite like
Don't you
that.
think there should be?
I know
Maybe
Canon.
that's
I
the
know.
future.
Well, I know that they can fire their own speed lights
Hmm.
wirelessly. Some cameras,
Mm.
but I don't know if they would work with like third-party lights like
Yeah.
that though.
It's something to keep an eye out for. I just need a solution when I'm traveling. I need everybody firing. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
next question.
what about moving to a new country and talking with like-minded businesses? Would you treat that the same way? Yeah, why not? I think this was
Yeah, it
in
doesn't matter.
related to moving.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a country, a state. Yeah, marketing is people need to know who you are, what you offer, how they can hire you. Do you know how many websites I go to? I don't even know what state they're in or a last name. Oh, I was in someone's website recently. I went to her website. There was no last name. It drove me crazy. I was just like, oh, photos by whoever, photos by here, photography by here, contact me at here. There was not a last name, nor was there a town or a city. And I was like, I have no idea who her last name is and what town she's in.
Do you remember? I think it was at the. I don't know what it was, but one of the workshops, I think it was a retreat where their name was not even the their real name.
Oh, that just happened.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was New York or here, where their
Her
business
business name is
was
not
a
her name.
but it wasn't her real name.
Completely different. No, it was here.
Was it
It
here?
was here
I
at
think it
the
was a
success retreat.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. We just had a little retreat, and one of our students, if you're listening, you know I love you. Her business name is not her name.
I think there was two, wasn't it?
Was there?
There might
Like,
have been two.
there's not relation at all. She had a very valid reason. I don't remember what it was, but when I go to your website, I should be able to know your first name, your last name, what town you're in, what country you're in, how to get a hold of you. I can't stand it when I go to people's websites and there's only a form, there's no email, there's no telephone number, and there's no last name. That's like maddening. That's the quickest way to lose a customer. Like huge. Like huge. I see it every single week. It gives me a headache just thinking about it. So marketing is you got to be when you're sitting in your house going, nobody's calling me, nobody's paying me. Instead of reducing your pricing, which is what everybody does, think because they can't find me because they don't know how amazing I am. I need to produce great work. I need to get out there, get out of the house, shut off Facebook, and get marketing. You should have postcards. You should have pens. Oh my gosh, I've written so many marketing courses, you guys. We're going to bring back the Belly Baby Summit version 4. Number 4? Is it number 4? Or have we done 4? Is it number 5? It's coming. It's launching. It's coming. I'm not going to say when because every time I want to bring the word out, it doesn't happen. So it's coming. What? Yeah,
just announce it right before it's about to come.
Yeah, you got to market, man. You guys got to market. You got to get out of the house and you got to get off.
We're saying 5.
5? We've done 5?
Yes.
No.
Shannon Bailey.
I think
5.
we've done 3.
Well, no, this would be 5.
We've done 4? I don't
Yes.
think so. Really? I have no idea. I was during quarantine, and that part of my life is a big blur. Oh, someone says my business name does not have my name in it. However, our website has our names and photos. That's great, Serenity. I'm telling you, this woman, her last name wasn't even on the website, nor was the town she lived in. I was so annoyed. How would you suggest creating marketing materials on a budget? Okay, now I'm looking at questions. All right, Alex, are you looking at these? I know, sorry. Okay, I'm not going to look. Okay, Alex, go ahead. Just so you know, we only have, how much time do we have? What time is it?
It's 2 o'clock.
Okay, I have about 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I've had to
Speed
go to
round.
the bathroom this whole time. And I'm holding it because I drink and then here we go.
All right, it's gonna be a speed round. I'm
Let's
gonna cut you
speed
off
round.
after a minute.
Okay, okay. Where's my music, Alex?
This one should be quick.
Where's my
What
music?
photographer inspired you to pursue newborn photography?
And get us. Next.
Next question.
She's the only one doing it at the time. There's nobody else.
Is it better to show your maternity gown closet to your clients on a mannequin or someone wearing them?
Either.
Okay. I think this is about the budget lights. I'm in South Africa and can't get alien bees and Einsteins here. Any other suggestions? Unfortunately, I do not know.
I have no idea.
It's other countries it's gonna be really difficult. You
Yeah.
might want to look at photography forums in your area and see what everyone else is using. My suggestion, don't get something that's too strong. What I notice a lot of times in other countries, they get these super powerful lights that are too strong for shooting newborn. And then you end up having to move your light really far back because even at the lowest setting, it's too bright.
Yeah.
And I remember those ones I brought to Dallas and Waller worked on everyone's cameras. Somebody, I guess, replying about some triggers. Because I mean,
and it worked on everyone's camera.
Pocket Wizards should work on any camera.
Was that Stephanie that said that?
Let me check because I don't see it on here. The name.
Steph had like cheap ones from China years ago.
That was Shannon Bailey.
Oh, Shannon. I don't know what Shannon post what it was. I don't remember. So we used Pocket Wizards and then yeah, that's what we use.
Yeah, but I mean, the Pocket Wizard should work on any camera, assuming the Pocket Wizard is working properly and that the camera is set up properly as well.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
How would you approach businesses? I am very introverted and doing cold calls scares the crap out of me.
What was that last part?
I'm very introverted and doing cold calls.
No, I'm not saying doing cold calls. I'm an introvert too. Let me tell you, I'd much rather be in my sweats watching Oprah at home, eating non-dairy ice cream than doing anything else. Let me tell you. I'm very introverted. I actually really don't like people at all.
Yeah, screw people.
What?
Screw people.
Screw people. No, it's I don't cold call. I've never cold call, and please don't cold call me because it'll be like click. No one wants cold called. No one wants solicitation. You know, what I've done, well, first of all, one of the things that really was successful in my business that are hard to do right now is events. I've done events for years. If there was an expo in my town, a family baby expo, I was there. I attended expos of my 21-year career, probably 16 years. And that was huge. I had events at my studio. We used to have girls' night out. We used to have mommy night out, bring your own wine and do manis and petties and just chat. Well, those events my clients still ask me about from time to time. But one of the things that I did or I have done is I've emailed. So for example, if you Google moms groups of fill in the blanks, there's moms of multiples, moms, Hispanic moms, single moms, mocha moms, Irish moms, divorced moms, moms over 20, moms over 30, you name it, there's a moms group. And so many times I've done this in the middle of marketing classes, I'll email the moms group coordinator and say, hey, I'm a local photographer. I would love to donate to your local fundraiser. And that's a great way to connect with people. You always want to, what can you offer them? What can you offer them? Not what can they give you? Hey, I'm a photographer. What do you need? How can I help you? Do you have a clothing line that I can photograph? Do you have a fundraiser I can donate? You want to put the step forward of how you can help them. So that's one of the things I've done. Another thing I've done is to my email list, on my website, on social, I've reached out to my clients and say, hey, are you a like-minded business? I've listed the like-minded businesses. If so, I provide free displays for your like-minded businesses, or I would love to work with you and see how we can collaborate. Just open the discussion. You need to run down the hallway, and every single door you see, just open it. Just open it. And it's another analogy. It's like planting seeds. If you're a farmer, you got to be super patient. And a lot of people are just not patient. A lot of things that I've done a year or two ago are just coming to fruition. People think we just snap our fingers and things happen. They don't. It may take years, it may take months, but it's planting the seeds, and then things will fertilize when they're supposed to. Maybe in the summer, maybe in the fall. But everybody is looking to market and grow their business. So you just need to find a way to collaborate with those people.
How would you suggest creating marketing materials on a budget?
It's always marketing, man. Marketing, 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 marketing. There's so many inexpensive ways. I mean, if you know canva.com, canva.com is amazing. You can create graphics for free. They actually have their own printing house now. They're super fast. They're super affordable. I would check out canva.com. You can create gorgeous printed materials on a budget.
Someone says, yes, my husband shoots weddings with me, so we have an about me section. Oh, it's probably about the name and
names.
stuff.
Okay.
And we both our pics and things about each other.
Perfect. People just
So
need to know who
happy
you are.
about another Build a Baby Summit. More on the light again, and I think in the other country. Godox MS200 or Godox MS300 was suggested. Is that okay? Fortunately, we haven't used them. If we have, we didn't know. Because I know we've used some Godox and
Yeah, internationally, yeah.
I don't know what models they are. So again, you're gonna want to check with the people around you and see what they say. And I would suggest rent it if you can. Find somewhere you can rent it. Try it out. Make sure the light can go low enough for what you need for the settings that you want to set your camera.
Talk
And
to
then
the lighting
before buying it.
Talk to the lighting representatives. Just reach out to them, because Alex is right. Many countries, the lights that we've used are very, very powerful. Just, oh my gosh, we were in Brazil and we had to like double diffuse and pull the lights back, and they're just so
Like,
powerful.
I'm sure they have lower power ones, but it just seems that everyone's
events.
being pushed towards the stronger ones for some reason, because they're probably just doing regular portraits, but when you're doing newborn, you want to set the power much, much lower.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Shannon replied, Bolsey wireless flash triggers bought on Amazon.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. That's good. That's good to know.
But again, if they're universal triggers, they should work on any camera. It shouldn't matter. It's just, I'm sure it was just a setting on the camera.
Okay. All right, a few more questions.
I'm not sure what this comment is about, but call your local health department. Ours does a huge 2-county baby shower, and we go and set up there and have met several clients that way. We take a giveaway, and it is free for us to set up.
I love that. I love that. I remember years ago, one of the hospitals, I delivered my babies at 2 different hospitals, and one of the hospital had a maternity tea. Now everything's different with COVID, but they had a maternity tea where you could be a vendor and sit down, and they would go over with prospective parents that were going to deliver there. They would have refreshments. They would go over the hospital. They would give them a tour. And then on break, they could check out my table. We would do a raffle for a free session. They'd join my newsletter. And oh my gosh, I've sat in many, many, many maternity teas. I know more about delivering in hospitals than I ever care to know. So yeah, there's so many things. You need outreach. You need to get the word out. You need to be that, it's like I think about Evan all the time because, Evan is only 20. And so a lot of people look at him like he's young and, he doesn't have as much experience as some people, which he's been all over the world like 3 times. So I think he has a lot of experience, but he doesn't have worldly experience and, he hasn't been around a long time. So he's constantly having to produce work. He has to produce work. He has to meet with people. He was telling me last week that the warehouse that he's working on, it's, like here, it's in a development. And he was just going like, his girlfriend was like taking classes in school and she didn't want to talk to him. And he was like, I need someone to talk to. So he just went business to business and he just started talking to people. And he met this guy that was like detailing Porsches. And he was like, oh yeah, I have an oil grease in my new truck. Can you help me? And the guy helped him. And then the guy was like, oh, hey, will you give me a quote on videos? We need a video. And Evan's like, oh yeah, cool. And then he went and he talked to this dog person. He's like, hey, we have 2 dogs. What kind of dog food do you got? We need good dog food. And they're like, oh, you should try this dog food. And oh, by the way, what are you doing? Video. Oh, we'd love a video of our dog grooming services. Evan's like, okay. He like went building to building to building. And Evan will tell you he's actually not an introvert. I mean, he's not an extrovert either. He's more introverted. But when it comes to marketing and business and getting his name out, he's very much extroverted. And that's the difference between introvert and extrovert. So many people use the excuse, I'm an introvert. Well, Oprah Winfrey will tell you she's an introvert. And you actually, if you listen to some of the most successful people in the world, including actors, actresses, musicians, some of the best speakers in the world, probably 90% of them will tell you they're introverts. But when they have a job to do, when they have a mission, when they have something to say, they say it. They do it. Just because you say, well, I'm more introverted. Actually, Gina is an extrovert and Gina has more problems with marketing than I do, right? And Gina's an extrovert. She'll talk to anybody, anywhere, give her her card, talk, and then she doesn't market. And I'm like, what? You're an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So don't use that as an excuse. You're an introvert, because I know a lot of people that are extroverts that don't market. So don't hang on that. It has nothing. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert has absolutely nothing to do with marketing your business. Do you need money? Do you need clients? Do you want to build a business? If you do, then you do all the things that require you to do that. Build that audience, video, behind the scenes, collaborating with your town, researching local events. I like to see you standing on the street corner. You see people standing on the street corner and they're like painting a picture or something. When we were in Italy, we'd love to buy from all the street vendors, because every time we would see a street vendor like painting on the sidewalk or painting somebody, we would buy their work, because we're like, here's an artist showing us their work. And half the artwork is in my home is from us traveling around the world, buying from local artists. Be the local artist. And if you have to stand on the street corner and take a photo with your name on your shirt, do it. Get creative.
Someone said, I'm an antisocial extrovert.
Listen, staying at home, not talking to anybody is not going to make you any money. So let's put your big girl panties on or your big boy drawers on, and let's get to work. Is nothing. My work personality is the complete opposite of my home personality. I can literally not talk for 3 straight days. I'm not social. I don't go to parties. I rarely go out on events. People will be like, oh, Anna, let's get together. I'm probably not going to do it. That's just not who I am. I go to my hotel, I order room service, and I'm in bed for the night. I'm very quiet, very introverted. That has absolutely nothing to do with my business, getting a job done, and providing for my family. Nothing. Nothing.
Next question. I have done 2 family sessions recently, mom, dad, and kids. The sessions are so hard because multiple kids behaving is torture. How do you handle this, and how long do you give the session?
Okay, sorry. Can you repeat that? Olivia was texting me. My daughter sent me a photo, and so I was like, what? Okay, sorry. Today's National Decision Day, so all the students have to declare their college and what they're doing and where they're going, and so that's what Liv is doing. But so say that question again.
I've done 2 family sessions recently, mom, dad, and kids. The sessions are so hard because multiple kids behaving is torture. I'm assuming misbehaving. How do you handle this, and how long do you give the session?
Do you have a Wrangler? I bet you don't. Is this a recent question?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, having a child Wrangler is key. When I don't know why my eyes are tearing all of a sudden. When I have like crazy family sessions, I need a Wrangler. I paused because I just remembered I have 2 family sessions at the Sherman Gardens on Sunday, and I need to look at the ages of the kids because I don't know if I have a Wrangler. Hopefully they're older. When you've got little kids, you need a Wrangler. It's just that simple. You need a Wrangler. because you trying to control the zoo and the chaos and set your cameras and set your lighting is very challenging. And so you need a good assistant. You need a good wrangler. You got to get a good wrangler. If I don't have a good wrangler with me, it's a tough session. It's like, if it's just one child, I can usually do it myself. Two is really hard. I need a good wrangler. I need a good assistant, and it can make or break your session. So my advice would be, if you have children, especially if they're a little bit crazy, which toddlers can be, get a good assistant for sure. A good wrangler will change everything. And I'm thinking, as I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about the sessions I have coming up if I have assistants. Okay, I'll take like 2 more questions and then I'm gonna have to go.
Someone says, I'm loving the live streaming. What setup is this, Alex? So crisp. I mean, we have a
Wait,
light.
what setup do we have right now?
Yeah, I think that's what.
Do you want to pan it? It's just
Uh,
an umbrella. What is that? Is that an 85?
no, that's your normal one. That's
a,
a photo one.
That's a Profoto 65?
Yeah.
So we have a shoot-through Profoto 65-inch umbrella right here. You know what it is too, Alex, is that this is a very white studio. So when you have a white studio, it's very reflective. The light bounces around. And so that's going to look very different than a studio with darker walls. And it's even bent. This isn't a broken umbrella.
Yeah, this is the original one.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says I have face masks with their logo. Oh my goodness, you sound so much like me. I took my oversized shirts and got them screen printed with my logo, and always wear them for shoots. It's my uniform now.
Perfect. See, that's something I don't even do. It's like I don't put the detail in my car because I don't want anyone to see me driving, because I'm going to cut you off probably. And I don't really stop at stop signs. I use whoever's in front of me, I use their stop. So I can't do it on my car because people will be like, is that Ana Brandt driving?
Yes, we are streaming from a camera.
Yes, we are.
That's probably why it looks much crisper too.
Yeah. And what camera is this?
This has a very long name. It is a brand new Blackmagic design Pocket Cinema 6K Pro. Should I be afraid when my competition in my area is getting better at what they are doing?
No. Time to step it up. That's exactly what you want. Yeah. You know how many times I had to step it up because maybe I slacked off a little bit and then someone came up and was like doing bigger and better things? No, you shouldn't be afraid. Use it as motivation to step it up. Because if you're getting stagnant, if you're getting boring in your own work, if you're getting stale, competition is always healthy. It's always good. It gives you a little motivation factor to just step it up.
And I just ordered my new N photo album. What do you recommend?
They just ordered it?
Yeah, so I guess maybe what else do you recommend from N photo?
Oh, they're acrylics. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they look really nice.
All right, I do have to go though because I have to pick up my daughter from school. I'm so sorry that this is a shorter Q&A. We're so busy.
The person about the competition in their area, they're just doing better in newborn photography.
Okay, so that means you need to do better. What is it?
Try something new.
What is it that they're doing better? This is what I want to know. Is it the lighting? Is it the posing? Is it the props? What is better? What is better? And be inspired by it. Be motivated by it. Forget competition. It's irrelevant in your life. It's irrelevant in who you are. If anything, if you go, ooh, their work is getting good, say, hey, their work is getting good. Bravo to them. They're probably paid for some education. They probably invested in their career. They're probably stepping it up a notch. So let's celebrate that. Say, yes, we're raising the industry. We're elevating things, and say, awesome. Say, good job. Even do one better. Comment on their photos and congratulate them on their work. Let's try that. Competition has absolutely nothing to do with anything but making us all maybe be a little bit more accountable for what we're doing, how we're doing it. And our goal is to be a little bit better every day, right? myself included. My goal is I want to be a little bit better than yesterday. So that is my wish for all of you. My name is Ana Brandt. I do have to go. Thank you so much for being part of this Q&A. I promise the next time we'll make it a little bit longer. Continue to send me your questions and I'll do the best that I can. I do mentor, I Skype, I teach around the world. Visit workshops.anabrandt.com, reach out and let me see how I can help you. And hopefully, we can all just get a little bit better. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.